Hey everyone, Adam here from Draw for Turn, here to bring you a deck tech for Thalisse, Reverent Medium, a new legendary creature from Commander Legends. This list was taken from our Commander Cold Brews series on Twitch. You can join us for the live deck crafting every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. The original list was submitted by a Friday night regular from our Discord where we play Commander over Spell Table every Friday evening. This deck is intended to be a list with an expanded budget. They asked us to help take the original build, trim the fat, and optimize some card picks and focus the strategy of the deck. Before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Commander content. Thalisse Reverent Medium is 3, a white and a black, for a 3/4 legendary creature, human cleric, that reads, at the beginning of each end step, create X 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying, where X is the number of tokens you created this turn. Needless to say, Thalisse is a token-making machine, so she wants to be built around generating tokens, utilizing them for value, and weaponizing them in various ways to close out games. While Thalisse Reverent Medium has very strong qualities, the color combination of Orzhov does bring with it some disadvantages. Firstly, losing out in the colors of blue and green, which mean in the primary sources of consistent draw and ramp spells. This uses for a slower ramp package because we don't have land grab spells. Additionally, the color pair has less available sources for consistent draw. These shortcomings can affect the deck's performance and need to be mitigated via our build in order to make the deck less brittle. As an Orzhov commander, Thalisse gives us access to white's token generation power, but that's not to say that black doesn't have its own tricks. A key part of what makes Thalisse so powerful is that her trigger doesn't care what kind of token is being made, nor on which player's turn the token making occurs. This means we are able to leverage cards like Pitiless Plunderer and Revelin Riches that create treasure tokens to not only feed into Thalisse herself, but fix a fatal flaw of white and black's color identity, ramp. While I've opted to include cards like Smothering Tide in this optimized list, Smothering Tide does draw a lot of hate at the table and is quite quick to be removed and still relies on the opponents not to play into it. Nevertheless, this should not dissuade you from including this in your build. Pitiless Plunderer and Revelin Riches fly under the radar in a lot of cases. While they require some setup to get rolling, an opponent isn't going to value removing them as much in comparison. I've made mention a few times about generating tokens to get the party started, so let's take a closer look at exactly how we're going to do that. In doing so, let's start by talking about something very important when it comes to generating tokens. Because of the each turn clause in Thalysse's rules text, we need to weigh out the value discrepancies between sorcery speed token generation versus instant speed token generation. We want to be working from a proactive position. Most of our offensive tokens are going to be tokens we are making on other players' turns, and these are going to be the tokens that we are going to go on the offense with and utilize the combat step to pressure life totals. We've also got access to powerful sorcery speed and drip feed options as well, and while these won't be able to go on the attack, these tokens are ripe for being used for value as they present a threat and must be dealt with. It's inevitable that left unchecked, our token generators will snowball out of control and take over the game. Now that we have tokens, what's the best way to make use of them? There are two methods we will use to maximize our tokens: combat and sacrifice. The first method, combat, comes in the way of simply going wide, getting buff, and attacking. We are running a variety of effects that buff our tokens so they can get in for a big punch once we have a wide board position. Having the 1/1 tokens transform into 2/2s and even 3/3s makes for large swings of damage. Adding evasion to your tokens makes it even more difficult for your opponents to deal with them. So the added benefit of generating flying tokens from our commander is a big one. There is one last bonus we can give our tokens in the form of Vigilance and Lifelink from Taste of Karlov. Creatures that heal us, don't tap to attack, and they fly, definite way to sweep in for a victory in commander. We can gain further utility from our sacrifice theme from our token army. By sacrificing our creature tokens to key cards, we gain additional effects, whether it be additional mana, scrying, or even making more tokens. There are several ways to take advantage of the tokens we generate to gain an advantage either on board or through additional mana and card advantage. We've made tokens, we've used them, and continue to get more, but how are we closing the loop on our strategy? Step 1, more tokens. Our commander loves when we create any kind of token, so doubling up on any kind of token we make for ourselves is a definite plus. Additionally, as the tokens are created, we force life loss from our opponents. Step 2, maximizing the sacrifice of tokens. For every token that dies, or any creature for that matter, then targeted life loss happens. Both forms of our payoffs come in the way of life loss, which ultimately helps our strategy as we can switch from going strong on combat to forcing a life loss on a whim and not needing the combat step whatsoever. This is another aspect in where Taste of Karlov shines in the 99 of this deck. She can ramp up the amount of value we get from our sacrificing. Combining our 3 strategy points features a strong endgame strategy. At various points, our opponents will be suffering from life loss via effects or combat and will be low on life in most cases. And this opens up our end to close the door on the game. Make tokens, utilize them in various ways to generate payoffs. These are the 3 principles of this Commander Cold Brew. Check the description for our deck list below. Thought of a card you think we should include? Let us know in the comments. Also be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell notification to stay up to date on all of our Commander content. Once again, I'm Adam, and always remember to untap, upkeep, support your local game store, and draw for turn.